broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, good morning or good afternoon. This is Tracey Peyton. We're going to go ahead and start today's webinar, which is on our decoration methods. And what that is, just to give you a little bit of information, it is the ability, if you're selling blank goods, t-shirts, polos, anything that you need to send to your decorator to have screen printed or embroidered, this is basically for you. You can now enter your decorators. You can also enter your decoration costs, so your screen printing costs, including the quantity breaks, including the different pricing for a 1-color, a 2-color, a 3-color, and so forth, as well as any embroidery cost. And you add those to your website so that anyone, your customer coming onto your website, can select an item and see what those additional decoration costs, so that when they are placing the order, it takes into consideration those costs and then obviously gives them a total value of what that order is going to be with that decoration. So it's great for companies for distributors who are selling a lot of blank goods. This is basically what we've created for you to make your lives a lot easier when it talks about decoration. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Just a couple things on this webinar. I am recording it. And in your webinar control panel, because I don't have audio, I can't hear all the attendees, I will ask that you enter your questions in the questions area. So down here, you can see the questions area. Just go ahead and type those in. I will be looking at those periodically throughout the webinar, as well as at the end of the webinar. So I will address those. Okay, so we'll get started here. Just a quick question to you, just to know that I am being heard and that you do see the AlloCure sample website on the screen. If someone could just type in that everything is okay with the audio and the visual, we'll get started. Great. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this so it doesn't pull up on my recording. So as I was mentioning, we do have a sample website pulled on the screen. So this is an AlloCure is the company, and I have some products on here. What we're going to do is we're going to be going into the back end first, to the management area, to set everything up. It is a two-step process. So to get into the management area, you can just key /manage on the back of your URL. I'm already in there, so I'm just going to click on Management Console, and that'll take me back to that. Okay, so this is the management area or the admin area of your website. Two things. The first step in adding this decoration methods or matrix to your website is to first add your decorators into the system. And they need to be added under the vendors area on the back of the website. So to do that, we're going to come into contacts, and under suppliers, you can click on suppliers to see all the suppliers in the system. And to add a new supplier, which is what we're going to do for your decorator, we're just going to click on New Supplier. And we're going to add the decorator. Okay, almost done here. I just want to make sure we have everything. Country, United States. Now, what you'll also see when you're adding a supplier to your website, if you have multiple websites or company stores, you will see those listed here. And you can add this supplier or decorator vendor to any of the websites by just clicking on the checkbox. And so you don't have to go on the back of each website to add that supplier. If when you're adding the supplier, you check those, that will add them to those other websites as well as the one that you're on. So we'll go ahead and save our changes. Okay, so we've added the supplier. The second step is coming over to products. So under the products drop down, you're going to see decoration methods. So if you click on that, now this is where you're going to be entering your various decoration methods, whether it be screen, whether it's embroidery, and so forth. A couple things up at the top is how you want your decorator matrix to appear on your website. So the first thing that we need to do is check the box the store uses decoration matrix. So we want to make sure that box is checked. Now you have 3 ways in providing this decorator methods and quantities and pricing. You can include, the first one here is showing both the product quantity breaks and the decorator quantity breaks. This is the default, so automatically it is selected. If you want to just show product quantity breaks, you can check that. And a lot of distributors are asking, how do we just show if we want to change the quantity breaks? So say the supplier is giving you the quantity of 1 and everything is based on a 1 quantity. If you want to create your own quantity breaks, what you should do is show your decorator matrix quantity breaks. That allows you to do quantity breaks and pricing for, instead of just 1 off, you can do 25, 50, 100 pieces. So it allows you to show those quantity breaks versus just the quantity break of 1 that you might have from that supplier. So again, you have 3 ways in which you can display your quantity breaks and your pricing for your decoration matrix. The next thing, I'm just going to leave it as the default. The next thing I can do is come over here and I'm going to add a new decoration method. I don't have any yet, so I'm just going to click on New Decoration Method. And it's going to prompt me to fill in a description. So this is just going to be screen printing. And if I want, I can give it, maybe screen printing silver package or something like that. The print description, I'm going to need to select that. I can check embroidery or screen at this point. So I'm going to use screen. And the supplier, I'm going to use the drop down to select my supplier. So I should see Noah's screen printing since we just added it. There it is. So we'll grab that. Now, this is a little chart or table that we're going to fill out, and you get it when you select screen printing because there are different colors. So what these are, it's not columns pricing, it's colors. So an option for 1 color, option for 2 color, 3 color, 4 color. So this allows you to set the first quantity break. So if I just want to say my first quantity break is 10, or we'll just do a quantity break of up to 10. Or that's the minimum. Let's do 1 for right now. The color cost of a screen, we can go ahead and enter in here the pricing, and then we can just tab through and put in some additional cost here. And I'm just randomly doing pricing, so it probably doesn't make too much sense. So we've got that information in there. Now what we can do is add another quantity. So if I do the minimum quantity of 1, my next minimum quantity might be 10. And I'm just tabbing through these fields. So okay, so I've just put some things in here. And again, if I want to add another quantity, I'm coming in here and I can put 25. Okay, so we've got some pricing in there. So that's how we handle screen printing. Now we will want to put a setup in here, so we can put a setup description. So I'm just going to say setup, and I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to select the supplier that's doing the setup. So again, that's going to be Noah's. So we'll go down to Noah screen printing. And then the cost of the setup. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the cost, and I'm just going to enter it as 20. And then the cell, I'm going to just put in here as 40. And save my changes up here at the top. This way it's added in that first decoration method. So that's how you would add in your various decorators and their pricing with their quantity breaks. Now, that's screen printing. So I can add the screen printing the way I just did it. Now, embroidery is a little bit different. You will need to break embroidery out. So if I do a new decoration method and we look at embroidery, what I'm going to do is in my description, I'm going to just do embroidery up to 5,000 stitches. In my print description, it's embroidery. My supplier, again, is going to be Noah's screen printing. So we'll just leave it as the same. There it is. And you can see this just has a one-off. It's not based on how many colors because it's not screen printing. It's based on stitches, and we've already described in the description what that is, up to 5,000 stitches. So what we can do is we can do a quantity break here of 1. We can set a cost here. Okay, so we could do, and we could do, oh wait, we don't want to do that high, sorry. And setup or digitizing, we can put something in there. Select the supplier again. And then for our setup, we can put that in there. That's more like 30. Scroll down. And okay, so we'll save our changes. So that's going to add embroidery. So any additional stitches, you would need to add another method and say embroidery additional 1,000 stitches, and then you would add it in that way. So that's how we add in the decoration method. What I would like to do is see if there are any questions at this point before we show how that decoration is displayed. So I'm going to go in here and see if there are any questions regarding what we just covered. So again, and just recapping, we went in, we added the vendor, or we added our decorator as a vendor in the contacts area. So that was done over here in suppliers, and we added them. And then the second step was to come under products and go into decoration methods. And this is where we set up our decoration method using the vendor and their price sheet or quantity breaks. Now once we've done that, we can go back now and view the site. So we'll go in and view the site. And what I can do is now a search for a polo shirt. Okay, so I can grab one of these polo shirts. Now I want to make sure it's something that's a blank good. So we'll go in to this white one. So we'll click on that polo shirt. Okay, so it's popping up the image here. Okay, so we're in the product detail screen. And what you can see now is over here, we've got our quantity breaks that we set. So we've got our screen printing silver, 1 color, 2 color, 3 color. We even have what it's going to cost to have that embroidered. Okay, so we've got that in there associated with the shirt. So we've got our decoration. So now when we go to check out, we can come in here, select our quantity. So if we want a white and gray, select our size, medium, and maybe we want 10 of those. We can hit next. The method, we can do screen, we can do 1 color, we're going to do maybe a 2 color this time. So we can put in our color references. Now I don't have the Pantone references, so let's see if we can just do next and move through here. Maybe I can just say red and blue. Next. So now we've got a summary with that total price of the product. And we also have the setup. So we have the total of what 10 shirts are going to cost to have screen printed, a 2-color logo. We can add to cart. And then we can view our cart. And then you have the details in your cart. So obviously your customer would come in here, fill in their contact details, and then go ahead and continue shopping or proceed to the checkout. But you can see we've got our 10 shirts, we've got a size medium, we've got our 2 color, and our price now reflects the decoration, the setup, and everything. So that's all inclusive in that price. Okay, so I'm going to take some questions. If you don't want to stay for the questions, I just want to say thank you for attending today's webinar. And I did record this and we'll put it up on our trade-only website. So you can see that there. It will be under the website or store webinars. So that's where that recording will go. I'm going to answer some questions here. One of them is, can we add print description types such as laser or engraving? You can. Right now with the decorator matrix, the way it's been released, we only have those 2 buckets, whether it be screen or embroidery. So if you're doing laser engraving, it just won't give you that option to write laser engraving. It will let you say it in the details or the description, but when you select the method, you're going to have to select probably embroidery or something along those lines in order to get your quantity breaks in there. We are getting laser engraving added to that list, but we have just initially released it with screen and embroidery. Okay. Now, one of the other questions I have here is, what if a customer wants multiple locations for the imprint? How are the charges applied? When you have multiple locations, what you would do is you would maybe do in the description 1 location screen and put in your table with the quantity breaks and your pricing. Then you would add another screen and the description would be a multiple location. So it'd be a 2 location, 3 locations. So those would be each entered as a different decoration method, and the description would tell whether it was a 1 location or a 2 location. We do have a question that says, can a specific company be opted out of pricing? And I'm not quite sure if you can expand that. I can definitely try to answer that. As far as pricing is concerned, if you don't use the decoration methods or matrix that we have on the store, then it's going to just default to the pricing of whatever that t-shirt cost. So in some cases, some of the suppliers such as Sanmar, Bodick and Rhodes, Alpha Broder, they provide a lot of blank goods so on their wearables. But there are some companies that provide the t-shirt and the decoration, and I'm trying to think of some of those, but their pricing reflects the decoration. It's rare. It's not something that all the suppliers do that are offering wearables, but there are some companies that the data that we collect for the product includes the pricing for the decoration being done by that supplier. Okay, so what we did here, one of the questions is how to apply specific decoration to each product. What this decoration methods does, it allows you to add your screen printers and decoration to all blank goods on your website. If you want to add decoration to a specific product, then you can go in and edit that one product to add decoration. So that is a little bit different of a webinar, and I can definitely follow up with you on that. As far as the decoration matrix and methods that we covered today, it is something that you would use to apply to all blank goods on the system. And then the second follow-up question to that is that you have multiple screen printers depending on on the product. That's fine. You can still add in all your screen printers. It's just when you're setting up the decoration method, you will select those printers so that all their options are available on the website. So you would see maybe it would just be referenced in the description, but the screen printer would be selected. So you could have multiple screen printers in your decoration methods and showing those variety of costs, depending upon where you're getting the decoration from. Okay, well, thank you very much for attending today's webinar. Hope to see you on many more, and we'll try to follow up with some of these additional questions and get back to some of those that are looking at maybe joining us on some additional webinars. And there are help sheets on this. And again, that's on our website at www.tradeonly.com, and it's under support. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.